Pues ya estaría. Gente, vamos a terminar la wea esta. El final este del Sumeru. Arconte acto 5. Ayer grabé y subí el directo este del intermedio acto 2 y se grabó de puto culo. Tuve un fallo técnico en el micro y... sobre todo en el micro. La cámara también, pero bueno. El micro se escucha como el puto culo. Pero lo que hay, ahí está. Ya está hecho y no se puede rehacer la visión, así que estuvo muy épico, eso sí, estuvo guapo, pero bueno, oye. A ver el final este, que pensaba que se iba a acabar ya, pero bueno, estaremos a 2 pasos, entiendo. No sé qué queda por hacer por aquí. Está la Najita aquí esperándonos. Prima, hermana. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó, güey?
Hello, traveler, and what a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness, so are we. And that's why we're here to
Verdad,
talk
nos
with
dimos
you.
un banquete la última vez.
Is there anything you want to know?
Ah, ahora viene la ronda de preguntas, como siempre, claro. Claro, claro.
After recent events,
¿Qué ha pasado con el
the
internet?
Akasha can no longer function as it used to. I've given it some thought, and have decided to shut it down permanently.
Porque le dio la fucking gnosis esa también al doctor, ¿eh? Aunque ya tenía pensado apagarlo, ¿no? De antes, claro. O sea, se la dio porque ya, pues...
But this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to shut it down. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity and curtailed the number of paths available to them.
Claro.
I don't think this is good for Sumeru.
Se vuelven bobos porque dependen siempre del aparatito del internet, básicamente, como la actualidad, ¿no? Hoy en día es como, bueno, lo buscas cualquier cosa en internet, tío, y pap. No sé qué, no sé cuántos. Cualquier duda. Y ya está, ya arreglado. Entonces... Y la gente pierde la curiosidad un poco, ¿no? También. Tienen todas las respuestas aquí, entonces no se ponen a calentarse la cabeza para resolver cualquier cosa. Pues es más fácil buscarlo y la solución y directamente.
And as for the future of Sumeru, I'm preparing to regain control of the academia. The former sages have received their punishment, but the new sages have yet to be selected. I will oversee the process personally. I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on academics. Sumeru needs such leaders more than ever. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. All the residents of the desert, in fact. I've already taken some measures to address this.
Todos racistas, man.
It will take some time to rebuild everything. But no matter if it's culture, friendship, or trust, we will rebuild it.
Let's go. Así se habla, Najida. Muy bien. Está chido eso. ¿Sabes qué sucedió después de que me durmiera aquel día? Cuando se durmió, cuando le dio la gnosis esta al doctor y le contó la mierda esta del cielo es una mentira o algo así. Y nosotros nos quedamos a 2 velas ahí. Hijo de puta, no me lo cuenta a mí.
You mean what happened after the doctor put you to sleep?
No nos lo va a contar, ya verás.
You guessed correctly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable to that of gods.
Wow.
I was no match for him in that kind of situation.
Hasta los 3 número primero. O sea, los 3 primeros de los 11 de los Fatui son tan fuertes como los arcontes, hermano. Joder. Y los demás tampoco se quedarán muy atrás, seguro. Un poco menos, pero también estarán ahí dando guerra.
However, in spite of the bad situation, I still managed to make a fair deal with the doctor. I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate, the Heavenly Principles. In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I used this point as leverage against the doctor.
What?
I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. Although it's just a bluff, he still fell for it. I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by and let such extensive damage to its laws take place. And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis, the exchange served as both punishment for the doctor, as well as a boon of new knowledge that I couldn't refuse as the God of Wisdom.
Pero ¿me vas a contar el qué? Esto ya lo he preguntado. ¿Sabes que esto también es tal? Ahora sabes. ¿Qué sabes sobre Scaramouche?
He's still in a coma.
El
I've
Trotamundos
hidden
de
him like
Wanderer.
how one would hide a feather.
¿Cómo? Lo resguardé con el cuidado con el que se tira una pluma. Está escondido, lo tiene guardaete.
I know you have many misgivings about him, but as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any evil. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective, but he is still yet to understand them himself. His future will be determined by fate.
Vaya. Mi próxima parada es Fontaine. ¡Let's go! A Francia, nos vamos a Francia, güey. Nos vamos a Francia. A Francia, Raki, nos vamos a Francia. ¿Sabes algo sobre ese lugar? Yo sé algunas cositas porque, claro, ya hace como un año o algo así que salió. Y yo juego ahora, voy retrasado. Pero bueno, he visto ya cositas, pero ningún spoiler, la verdad. Pero cuéntame. Sí. La nación de la justicia, Francia.
As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system.
Uf. Tope juicios y sus muertos, loco. Qué cosa que me gusta, la verdad, es interesante.
Does their Archon personally judge people? No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials.
Juez Supremo. ¿Cómo se llamaba este? El Nebulete. Ese. Puto amo, loco. He visto gameplay del Nebulete, hermano. Es... revienta que no veas. De hecho, se viene junto al Kazuha en el próximo banner. Cosa que lo voy a tener que saltar porque los planes son Kazuha y Arlequino, pero bueno. Y luego, Focalors, la Arconte Hidro. No preside juicios en persona. Focalors, que todavía, por lo que tengo entendido, es Furina. Pero como que hay gente que dice que no, y otra que sí. Y estoy un poco rayaete. Tengo ganas de llegar ahí y ver la trama por eso. Para saber qué pasa, ¿no?
However, even then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. It seems that she just likes to immerse herself in that sort of atmosphere.
Focalor siempre está presente en casi todos los juicios. Epa. Que simplemente le gusta sumergirse en ese tipo de ambiente.
As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict. Anyway, let's just say she's got
Una personalidad muy particular.
personality.
Literalmente Furina, ¿verdad? Interesante. Joder, esta música angelical de fondo, hermano. Estoy ascendiendo a los cielos. La. Ahí no he encajado la, pero bueno.
Are you
Fuck.
sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet?
Sí, ya todo.
You mean about your sister?
Oh, shit.
While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Erminsul search for information.
Por
on
fin,
your
la
sister.
primera. La primera. Pero ambos llegamos desde el más allá del... Ojo.
Yeah, isn't Erminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Tevat?
Se viene el buen lore.
This is true in your case. However, there must be something different about your sister. Because as it turns out, the world has... What?
¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Qué
There's
pasó?
only one possible explanation.
Tu hermana es de este mundo.
She belongs to this world.
¿Y que eres adoptado? Pero si son iguales, tío. No puede ser. ¿Cómo puede ser eso, tío? Curio oculto. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Qué pasó de Curio oculto? Eres Sergio, ¿eh? Te he deducido. Ya lo sé.
According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly, after the Conria disaster, she began her journey through the 7 nations of Tevat. But just as her journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on her suddenly become fuzzy.
What do you mean, fuzzy? Did something happen to...
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons, and whoever it is, if they can do that...
But even that wouldn't explain how she somehow comes...
Something else I noticed was that
What's a descender? Paimon's never heard of it.
Descendido, what the fuck?
I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my gnosis, right? A very important part of the intel was about this world's descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are
The
that
fuck?
fourth descender.
Hermano, espérate, demasiado dolor en la jida. Relájate, relaja el culo, por favor. ¿Qué está pasando? El cuarto descendido de Teyvat.
Huh?
What
So
the
the
fuck?
Fatui count 3 other descenders before the Traveler? And his sister isn't even one of them?
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first descender
Orden
was likely what they
celestial,
now call the
lol.
heavenly principles. As for the other descenders, I still need to...
Let's go, una gira. Por fin alguien que suelta información útil. LOL. Desde luego.
Yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must still have a lot of unanswered questions. There are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through, and soon, you'll also begin your journey anew and depart from Sumeru.
Let's go,
I'm
Fontaine.
very
Let's go.
interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future...
I'm sure
Joder.
glad we got to meet.
The pleasure is all mine. I can't thank you enough. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes. And maybe...
Bravo, 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 Najida. Bien. Por fin alguien que suelta info decente, tío. Impresionante, impresionante.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida. Paimon was ready to ask her a million more questions, but didn't want to seem too pushy. Like, about these descenders. So, does that just mean people like you who come traveling to Tevat from someplace else? And as for your sister... Whew, so many questions.
Desde
Let's go
luego.
find Nahida and see what else we can find out.
Madre mía. Intermedio, acto 3. Joder, loco. What the fuck. Capítulo 3, acto 6. Espera, espera, espera. ¿Qué? ¿Qué hay un acto 6? Me está... ¿Qué?
Sorry, pal.
Qué fumada, loco. Pensaba que se había acabado ya. Hostia. Let's go. Intermedio, acto 3. O sea que ahora viene en teoría esta, en verdad. Lo que deberíamos hacer esta primero.
¿El micrófono lo tenías desde el principio?
Desde el principio de los
No me
tiempos.
había fijado.
Sí, sí. Pues no sé, a lo mejor en los primeros vídeos lo tenía ahí fuera de cámara. Puede ser. Puede ser. Voy a mirarlo, a ver. Ah, bueno, el primer vídeo no tengo ni cámara porque todavía no me había llegado. En el segundo... Tampoco. Je. Y luego ya en el tercero sí. Sí, sí se ve el micro, tío. Desde el principio lo tengo ya. De hecho, hoy subí un vídeo editadito ahí de 10 minutitos. Chidori. No sé si lo has visto.
Se escucha bien.
Escucha bien, ¿no? Está bien, la verdad. Y lo tengo conectado a la Play, no lo tengo conectado ni al ordenador, tío. A ver, un momentico, estoy aquí. Toqueteando unas cositas. Pues bueno, le vamos a dar al intermedio acto 2, que va antes, o sea que... Justo ayer hice el intermedio acto... No, este es el acto 3, ¿no? Sí. Acto 3. El acto 2 estuvo guapo en la cima, tío. Lo grabé ayer, qué pena que se me grabara mal el audio, tío. Porque ayer no conecté bien el micrófono y se grabó desde el mando de la Play, tío. Y se escucha como el orto. Se ve bien, pero yo me escucho como el orto, entonces... Es un poquito ahí de walthrough.
Serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? That's
Mucho texto, tío. Mucho texto.
This is my teacher's area of research. I can't I want to write my essay on something interesting.
Yes, you
Hermano.
came to me. So all the more reason to take my advice.
Suda los huevos.
Just mentioned Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma.
Tarasuna.
Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Great! Let's go find out!
No sé de qué va a ir esta wea, pero bueno. Sorpréndeme. El último estuvo guapo. Yupa.
Cuando habla un personaje lees los subtítulos o lo escuchas en inglés y ya.
Cuando quiero ir rápido, me pongo a leer porque lo leo así como súper rápido por encima y ya está. Cuando quiero escuchar una historia que me interesa, estos dos, por ejemplo, me sudan los huevos a un nivel espectacular. Entonces, pero normalmente sí que lo escucho en inglés, para así desarrollo mi inglés y ya está.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face?
Pero cuando llevo mucho tiempo a lo mejor y quiero ir más rápido, pues leo rápido y ya está.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in... This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started...
So what? For the love of... Sorry, we don't get out. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places.
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's...
If you don't mind,
Tarasuna, yo no me acuerdo de esa mierda, tío.
for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold
Tarasuna.
on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease your...
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger. Someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
Como el torito.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder...
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone if they knew anything about...
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it... It just so happens
This part's
that a
important.
friend of mine
The
works
fuck,
at the
tío.
government records office.
Porque tiene
Looked into it for
acento
me, and I can
de
now
Inglaterra,
confirm
tío.
that all the aforementioned
En teoría estamos
individuals
en la
did,
India
in
aquí.
fact, live in Inazuma. Oh, even back
Pero
then,
bueno.
Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are two...
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah,
Wow,
El Kazuha, el
yes, You
Kazuha.
really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the...
the Kaidahara clan.
Sawada, you left out the biggest...
Oh, yes, of course! How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown.
Cuidado, cuidado,
Maybe you
cuidado.
won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years
Me
as a
agarro a la
writer,
silla,
this
bro.
is-
Me agarro.
Point, for Pete's sake.
According to information
ver.
acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
Pues como la escaramucha. Ah, coño, claro. Será la escaramucha. O la según Raiden, pero lo dudo. Nah, es el escaramucha, sin duda.
Aha! Judging by the looks on...
No, Paimon just meant,
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky event...
¡Ahí voy! Mira, el primo escaramucha se iba para allá, mató a 4 mongolos y... Hostia, hermano, buah, me mareo. Lectura rápida, ya tú sabes cómo funciona.
Oh, and please read my essay
Resumen.
draft as well.
Sí, mis huevos. No te lo crees ni tú, cabrón.
Sawada was
Dice, lee tú también el
encouraging me to
mío.
follow his more
Cómeme
creative
los pelotas.
approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I
Qué
don't
cabrón.
think explaining everything away with mysterious forces. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political...
wait, you wanted to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessing.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we... Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on...
Good point. Okay,
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye.
all right, thank you.
Eso. Bigotillo. Madre mía. O sea, nos vamos otra vez para Inazuma. No tiene sentido, ¿no? Tiene que ser aquí en Sumeru. No mames.
That thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
Seguro.
Okay, then, even if we did know something about, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest.
¡Ojo! ¡Míralo! ¿Está ahí? ¡Mamá huevo!
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like...
Je fue. Míralo. De chill. Dando un paseíto.
Balladeer!
Como si
No,
nada.
it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Let's go. ¿Dónde está?
Congratulations!
Se va a liar parda. Najida, compare. ¿Qué estás liando? ¡Hostia! Está ahí.
Traveler, Paimon,
Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer.
Está ahí al lado, Paimon, ciega.
Escape or... Ah!
Sure enough,
Bof.
you're here.
Hey, what are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana?
I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me.
Let's go.
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about.
Me gusta su ropa, tío. Tiene buen diseño, eh.
But if that's the case,
Moradito,
why
rojo,
haven't you done
negro.
it already?
Buen combo.
Don't flatter yourself. It was...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start.
Hay tensión aquí, ¿no? ¿O qué?
Paimon's worried about you, Nahida.
It's not every day you see people question.
Pero si Najida le metió una paliza al pavo este. ¿Qué va a
You
hacer?
think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to...
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
Well, I, for
Hmm.
one, have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be plus. He's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not...
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming
lo
back
que le dijo, güey.
so...
Sometimes
Por los
it's you
suelos.
using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite... Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends.
Yeah, obviously!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for today. Can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to...
All right, then I'll...
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you...
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in her...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
shit.
that's the whole reason we came to see you today.
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the ballad, he was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders.
Exactly! Or what if...
I understand. But how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense... As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, it's my pleasure, really. I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact,
Suele pasar,
I was going to
suele
ask
pasar.
you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf.
Tipo, estás
while
pensando en
he
alguien en
carries
ese
out the
momento y
task I
dices, hostia,
assigned.
tengo que llamar a no sé quién. Y de repente te llama él y es como, what the fuck. Telepatía, hermano.
Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you
¿Me ha dicho
through
Avenger?
Irminsul from the outside.
Muy bien.
Thank you. Prepare yourselves.
Let's go. Venga, va. Un poquito de... ¡Hostia!
It looks pretty different here compared to last time.
Oh,
The
shit,
colors
¿no?
are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Mamá huevo.
Look at that. Hot on my
Look at
heels.
that.
You know,
Shut your
Uy,
beak,
ya sé que
Jailbird.
eres.
No way a prisoner gets to be so smart.
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the
Whoa.
innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike
Let's
anywhere
fucking
else,
go.
Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna... Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali,
No me lo esperaba
I'll
esto.
be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in
Uf,
our
por
path.
favor, dejarme controlarlo. Por favor, te lo
You
pido.
sure are confident. I'm
Oye,
not
culo.
that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
No hace falta, compadre.
Ugh, the snark of this guy.
We can start now.
Erpillao access granted. Initiate.
Nos vamos a la Matrix. Uy.
Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
No te vayas, compadre, sin mí, hombre.
Wow. So this is the inside of Erpillao.
La verdad.
Ooh.
No me lo esperaba.
Paimon's never
Literalmente
seen
la
anything
Matrix,
like
Hostia,
this.
es internet,
And it feels like a sacred place.
Erpillao is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat.
Joder.
Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Erpillao.
Can you still sense where the heart of
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Que polite.
Permission granted.
Let's go.
Hey, so... what are you...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you
Cualquier
want to
cosa,
stay
hermano.
safe, your best
Si
option
es Tuki.
is to stick close to me.
Con los dendros y todo aquí, madre. ¿Qué tenemos que hacer? ¿Todo el paseíto este? Yepa. Menuda capa que me lleva, ¿no? En el gorro, tío.
sapling things have spread out?
Está chidori. Uy.
Those are all packets of information from inside Erpillao. Be careful not to touch them.
Pero no íbamos hacia el árbol. Ahora vamos en sentido contrario. Hay que esquivarlo, eso.
It looks the same in every direction.
El trotamundos.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Damn. El árbol de la vida, hermano. Del mundo, literalmente.
We're here.
What a huge tree!
Toda la el Google, resumiendo.
Good, you made it. Are you...
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive...
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he...
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all,
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with the...
Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also invited Paimon.
Huh?
Joder, qué bueno, tío.
We can talk to each other inside
Llamadita.
our heads?
Llamadita mental.
That's part of it. Plus,
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems...
as I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart in it. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
O sea, originalmente él es creación de una, es una marioneta, ¿no? Creada por un arconte. Y básicamente es como un lienzo en blanco, ¿no? Y inicialmente pues era buena people. Y luego pasaron cosas y se corrompió y dijo que me tocáis los huevos, pues ahora os lo toco yo. Y luego se puso a hacer de malote y ahora está que no sabe qué hacer, ¿no? Resumiendo.
Nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can...
Everyone has a history, Paimon. even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
La Shogun Raiden.
Speaking of puppets,
Bueno, la Raiden ahí.
at the academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatar.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history.
Acaba.
Oh? How interesting.
So the Gese got...
Well, they guessed right about what...
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Ooh.
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So...
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It would...
Wait! How did you know about that?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial Huh?
Me cae bien, en verdad, Ojo.
This light. It looks similar...
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have...
Shh. Just wait.
Mr.
Los
Niwa,
tripis.
are you certain this is worth the risk?
Esta voz,
We are
hermano.
talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
Fumadote.
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has
Hermano, el
Mikoshi
flequillo.
Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your
No me lo
leadership,
esperaba, tío.
Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent
Raiden
years, eliminated
Shogun.
much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As
Pito
for
banner.
Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of... The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find...
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was
So you say, Escher.
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke, mounting production problems, and recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise...
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was
Sinceramente no me estoy enterando de una mierda, tío.
Nagamasa
¿Qué
is
trama
the
es esta,
adopted
tío?
son
O
of
sea,
Mikoshi Torichio,
se están liando
the
ellos
yokai
solos.
struck down by the shogun's own hand. If
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as...
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone, so I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside.
Judging from the look in your eye...
Drop the act. We're past that now. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Y zasca. Adiós,
A
flequillo.
moment like this. where you finished talking and I...
Shit, man.
You...
Chao, pescado. Apuñalado. Le metió un
You're a
navajazo.
little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well. At least for the first few days. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an A. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity. And what I seek.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the first...
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person.
Es el doctor, loco, no me ha dado cuenta. Ahora con esta voz sí, hombre, con esta voz sí.
You're not a puppet. You're a human.
El puto doctor.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out.
Buen girito.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui.
Fatui?
Just to create a...
That's it. That's why you gave us your cursed technology.
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced
Me gusta
with its
mucho la voz
demise.
del doctor, tío.
My device functions
No tanto como
precisely
el
as you
Sol-Li,
say.
pero bueno,
It
está
is the
ahí,
only chance you have of
Segundo
preventing a
puesto.
catastrophe.
Se lo lleva.
And it is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else in...
He has nothing to prove to anyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa.
Se murió. Sin agujero la chaqueta, o sea, buena ropa. Se cierra sola y es antimanchas también. Míralo, cabrón. Tiene buen diseño el cabrón, en verdad.
Jester, I have completed the task you
Está
gave
chido.
me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings.
¿Tiene una visión por ahí? Para saber qué elemento es.
Fun it was.
Pero vamos, que será hielo, ¿no? O agua.
I'd
Mucho
like
azul
to
tiene.
introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade.
Oh, shit. Ah, y ahí es cuando se llevaron. Damn.
Dottore.
Se descojona. Risa de loco, hermano. Se le fue la olla, ¿no? Se le fue la olla. Ah, bueno.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor?
Wow.
Did he turn it? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be... You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Ahora todo tiene más sentido, ahora entiendo. Vale, vale, vale. Todo fue un malentendido o que le lavó un poco el cerebro el doctor para que pensara tal.
They need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Damn.
I'm still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but...
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find... So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, it was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just a plan of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic answered, Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that the mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with...
Holy moly! So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim?
Yes. Only if you...
Lo grito.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Damn. Comparé. Ya está, ¿no? ¿Qué? Tanto pensar. Más tarde. Más tarde, un ratico.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me. It won't.
Venga, venga. Caramucha. Haz algo, por favor.
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the descenders in Irminsul.
Fuck. Cagamos.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems
Siempre
to be
cuesta
learned.
sacar la puta info, tío.
Irminsul does not keep
La info
records on the
que queremos,
descendants.
la útil.
Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
The fuck, man.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can...
Ojo.
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Plus,
Oh, damn.
she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time.
El bufón. Otro de los 11 Fatuis.
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say... Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusa?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul.
Very valuable.
Good.
¿Cómo se
In
ríe,
that
cabrón?
case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Se pone intensito. Ojo.
What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like give me your hand.
Cuidado, pueden pasar muchas cosas en lo de la mano, Muchas cosas diferentes. Tengamos fe. Vas a poder hacer una pelea de pulgares. Ojo.
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible
¿Cómo?
to change the past?
Los dentros a tope, Fumadote.
Done.
Huh? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
¿Qué cojones, tío?
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time.
¿Dónde va?
But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
Se mete en el árbol, loco.
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
¿Cómo?
Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Ah, hostia, no me jodas. Va a viajar en el tiempo para atrás para salvar al pavo ese y a cambio él morirá o algo así, ¿no? Claro.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily...
Wow.
Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on.
Se evangelizó. No mames. Se nos fue.
Oh, no.
Oh, can you hear me?
Joder, Najira, buena hora.
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
No mames.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or...
Where the heck did he go?
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, we're running out of time. Follow my lead.
Joder, loco. Es que básicamente teleport. Easy forma de salir.
We're out. And we're at...
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't...
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances...
Her voice is
Posok.
gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible. Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one... So,
Buen ejemplo, buen ejemplo.
why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Ooh, Paimon's so... Huh? Ah!
No hagamos comentarios sobre la torpe.
Sorry, Paimon accidentally... but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Uh-oh. Paimon's head is over... Paimon's had it with that little brat.
Se marcó un Trunks.
There's no way he'll actually
Trunks.
succeed, right? Otherwise...
Es que cambiar el tema de los viajes en el tiempo es una fumadote grande, ¿eh?
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any idea? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, Paimon... So, how about... Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Muns and
No
drained
mames.
chili chicken! Also, Adeptus Temptation.
The fuck. Se puede liar muy parda, pero bueno. Están las dos opciones. Que luego se difurque ahí una de estos paralelo. ¿Qué pasó?
What do we...
What?
Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. Is that a food too? Huh.
No manches.
Weird name, though.
No puede ser. ¿Ya? Ya lo he hecho, o sea, ya. No existe ya. Y ha vuelto a pasar como con la reina mayor. Solo se acuerda el tabibito. Joder.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon
La
said?
música tenebrosa de fondo que ha entrado ahora.
That someone's name? Could...
Madre del amor hermoso. Hostia. La de cosas que pueden haber cambiado, tío. No me jodas.
Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay?
No mames, tío, no mames. No mames. No, no. Tengo que hacer esto. Está vivito. Ahora sí. ¿Qué va? Cojamos los logros, a ver qué hay. Nah, bueno, 2. Bien está. Protos ricas. Madre mía. Qué painazuma, ¿no? Hostia, tú. Tampoco creo que haya cambiado muchísima cosa, ¿no? Espero. Pero bueno. Mira, se está todo el día dándole al martillo, ¿eh? Y el abuelo mirándolo. Le gusta cómo le mete mazazos a las espadas, tío. Es como los abuelos que miran la obra, es lo mismo, ¿eh? Lo mismo. Los abuelos que van a mirar la obra es muy probable que sean antiguos que trabajaban ahí en la construcción. Y ya por los loles. Dice, ya, pues, dejo de trabajar de esto, ahora me pongo a mirarlo. Y esto es igual, tío. El típico. Se pone a mirar su viejo trabajo.
Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden.
Anemoma Togo. ¿Cuánto tiempo?
Amenoma,
Amenoma Togo.
Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju.
Amenoma.
The art of forging
Me
practiced by
encanta ese
these
nombre.
5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. And for a long time, but fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma
Mi rey.
and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain. Of the, if my memory serves me right, you yourself were present.
Yeah.
when he-
Oh, yeah, we were! I learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
That, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, there is no harm in telling you, but the Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee. But he rushed to Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's powerless and destitute. The only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was, but when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact.
Ojo.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop. Lead the way.
Bueno, ha cambiado un poquito el tema del pasado, ¿no? Y tal. Ahora que vamos a ver a la zorrita. Ah, no. Epa.
We're here.
Traveler, it's been a while.
Está vivito.
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate.
Oh, shit.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it...
We'll be heading in then.
De una abuelita.
Hello,
Furuta.
dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. As for the commissioner himself, well, you know.
So pretty much business as usual.
Very.
Nada, las cosas así como importantes no habrán cambiado. Eso está clarísimo.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here.
All right, goodbye for now. We're,
Tatarasura.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll...
All right, then.
Chao, Yaya.
Oh, are you
Epa.
two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of.
Very well. Safe travels.
Chao, pescado. What? Cabrón. ¡Epa! Está ocupadito. ¿Y esto qué es? El niño. Hostia puta. Ah, no, el pendejo este. No me jodas. Bueno, pues vamos a darle lo que hay. Recoja las balizas. Pues vamos a darle, venga. Un poquito de gameplay tampoco viene mal. Entre medio de tanto texto. Vamos a partirle la madre. Aquí... va, voy con este equipo, No hay que pelear mucho tampoco. Pam, solo hay que recoger. Arriba, arriba, arriba. Desde aquí. Desde aquí lo pillamos. No mames.
Surprise!
No te atasques, por favor, Linete. No me la líes.
Sorry, pal.
Vale, aquí hay otra. Ya que estamos. Unos artefactos gratis. ¡No me toques! Aquí me queda un poquillo por explorar, pero bueno, hay un cofrecito y poco más. Ya lo haré ya, pero ya un poco más para el final. Let's go. Vale, y ahora ya... ¿Dónde está? Aquí.
Congratulations.
Compadre, ya tengo tus mierdas. Menos mal. Ahora sí, intermedio acto 2. 3. Sigamos con la investigación. Roto temporal. Let's go.
Well, here we are.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the truth?
Está
Xavier,
vivito.
what are you doing here?
I was in the general
acostumbrarme a
area,
verlo.
and now I'm in this specific area.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years... Oh, well, it's a long story. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two...
Mecánico.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about...
Oh, I didn't realize you two...
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor
Mucho
have I
texto
come
estamos
across
teniendo
anything
hoy,
to do with a kabuki mono
Pero
where
bien está, bien
Tatarasuna
está.
is concerned.
Está medio interesante.
Of course! Don't miss.
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. Farewell.
O sea que el pavo ha ido al pasado, ha cambiado ahí como un poco lo más trágico de su historia o lo que sea, pero sin afectar a los demás, básicamente.
Sure, but
Todo lo demás
what's up
sigue
with
igual.
your smile, Spinal Crocodile? No matter what happened, come on. You gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? All right.
Congratulations.
Y ahora para Sumer otra vez. ¡Yepa!
Hey, it's them.
Hostia, la cava, tú. Venga, hombre.
Akaba. So
Akaba.
you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
Habrán cambiado algo.
What do you want to talk?
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately,
sacamos algo
we
chido de
haven't
aquí.
made any real progress. Huh?
¡Uy, mierda! Sí, claro.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Sí, claro. Te lo crees ni tú. Eliminaría 2 de sus identidades.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba
Sinceramente,
was saying how he wished he could
tendré que ver
gather
un
more
resumen o algo de la
information
historia
about all this?
de esta parte,
He
porque
just got back from Inazuma. So how about we
es
tell them
complejo.
what we learned?
What
Hay
did you
lore
find
que
out?
no tengo.
Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in...
Mm.
Wow, so many.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Ugh. So there's no go...
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with...
And they're back at it.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you.
You're welcome. See...
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Posok.
Sorry, pal.
La que te cuento. ¿Najida se acordará o qué?
Congratulations.
En verdad, no hemos hablado con ella todavía.
Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon.
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly, the sun was up.
The balladeer?
Hostia, no se acuerda.
Sounds like some kind of...
Ay, no, se te escapó, Tabibito.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Wow.
Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong?
Se lo dijo, se lo dijo. Joder, cuánta info, ¿no? Madre del amor hermoso.
Quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul.
But how was he even able to...
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the...
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... Well...
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations.
What? I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of... He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Erpillao, and...
Yeah, it does make sense, but it just feels so hopeless. He gave everything.
Please wait a moment.
Joder, esta misión está teniendo una puta trama demasiado intensa ahora, ¿no? Está como bien denso el tema, ¿no? Joder.
Found it. This should be the one.
Coño.
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming every... What is it?
O sea, es mucho texto, mucho texto. Es como si te fueras a leer un libro, pero está interesante el cabrón.
You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record.
Huh?
What?
You wrote...
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the...
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Erpillao changes to that. But Erpillao can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the ballad.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Erpillao with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew
Joder.
This story is abstract enough that it still
Pokémon
resonates with the
anticipación.
present information recorded in
Najida
Erpillao.
Pokémon anticipación, loco.
But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us.
Madre mía, me va a explotar la cabeza,
There was
loco.
once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it.
Yo, le atravesó,
The
hermano.
gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames."
Joder, qué turbio, hermano.
The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good.
Hermano, qué triste, ¿no?
Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass
Me lo veía
that stood
venir.
on that mountain.
El gato es el escaramuche.
The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon.
Y entonces el monstruo vestido de zorro, ¿quién sería? El Dottore, claro, el Dottore, hijo de puta, ¿no? ¿O qué?
How it wished to
¿O no?
swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were...
¡Damn! Joder.
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer's story. It is his very own memories. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't...
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely...
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was... Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was... We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their...
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon...
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination.
Let's go.
And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Mihida's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat?
Joder, siempre estás pensando en comer, puta gorda.
Good idea.
Puta gorda, tío.
Why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it. Come on, traveler.
Sí, necesito dar un paseo, por favor, porque me va a petar la cabeza, hermano. Cuánta información están soltando aquí de repente. Joder. Da una vuelta por el gran bazar para despejarte. Tremenda misión. Un paseíto. De verdad, ¿eh? Fumadote, tío.
Hola, bro.
Hola, bro. ¿Qué tal, Najida? ¿Cómo vas? Me está petando la cabeza, cabrón. Esto no puede estar pasando. Madre mía. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo te va? El temita. Nada, bueno, te voy a comentar. Han habido cambios de planes, ¿vale? Han habido cambios de planes en los gachapones. Te comento. Mira, llevamos 100... Piti 72. Nada mal, nada mal. Te puedo asegurar ahí bastante. Pero te comento. Mira, ¿cuánto quedan? 13 días. 13 días. En 13 días viene Kazuha y Nebulete, ¿vale? Le voy a tirar a Kazuha, ¿ok? Tenemos 130 deseos, 30 de Piti. Lo que suma 160 es un personaje asegurado, ¿vale? Un personaje asegurado tengo. ¿Cuál es el problema? Que me he comido los leaks del Arlequino, ¿vale? Se han liqueado gameplay, sobre todo, pues, gameplay, sus técnicas y todo el texto de cómo funciona. Y Sinceramente, me he quedado loco. Y ahora voy a tirar por Arlequino. ¿Qué pasa? Que me la quiero asegurar 100%. Sí, sí, tal cual. Arlequino me la quiero asegurar 100%, tío. Entonces, como pierda el 50-50 con Kazuha, tío...
Yo desde hace tiempo que ya me comí todos los links.
Sí. No, pero, oye, que en YouTube tú pones Arlequino gameplay y tal cual te salen un montón, ¿eh? Y cada día van saliendo cosas nuevas, tío. Hoy mismo creo que la última que se ha liqueado ha sido un gameplay de 1 minuto de ella que cuando usa la habilidad elemental empieza a flotar. Y puedes ir por encima del agua volando y escalando y es una puta locura. Y de verdad, es que un personajazo que flipas. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? Que dependiendo de las protogemas que pueda conseguir, tío, porque tengo 20 más. Tengo, pues eso, 100... En total 150 tengo ahora. Pero ya te digo, es que eso es un personaje asegurado. Todo dependerá. Si Kazuha pierde el 50-50, a lo mejor me toca pasar de él, tío. Para luego asegurarme al Arlequino, porque la quiero sí o sí, 100%. Entonces, todo dependerá del 50-50 de Kazuha, tío. Veremos. O si soy capaz de conseguir unas 140 más, 140 deseos más, a partir de ahora hasta dentro de mes y medio o 2 meses.
Yo tengo 2 deseos.
2 deseos. Estás en la mierda, loco.
Cara con lengua de dinero, cara con lengua
Hostia.
de dinero.
Bueno, pero Piti 70 y pico, ¿sabes? O sea, prácticamente en cualquier deseo que tires ahora te puede salir un personaje 5 estrellas. En cualquier tirada. A partir de la 74 o algo así es cuando tienes muchísima probabilidad. O sea que... No sé quién lo vas a tirar, pero lo tienes bastante asegurado. A no ser que pierda el 50-50, entonces está jodido. Fucking Kazuha, tío. Como pierda el 50-50, a lo mejor lo voy a tener que skipear este banner, tío. Me va a doler. Me va a doler. Todo dependerá. ¿Qué te has hecho el eventito este de las pociones o qué?
Todo por culpa de Chiori.
Todo por culpa de Chiori. No, la Chiori la verdad es que ha estado ahí... Sí, la verdad es que si viniera ahora mismo Kazuha en la primera fase sería mejor, tío. En plan, que estuviera ahora, tío. Porque le tiraría ya, pero bueno. Quedan 13 días. 2 semanitas. 2 semanitas, ya está. 2 semanitas Kazuha hasta aquí. Y si pierdo el 50-50 me cagaré en la madre. Y veremos. Intentaré apurar ahí hasta el último día a ver si puedo conseguir el otro Pity. Entonces le vuelvo a tirar, pero bueno. Ya se verá.
La quiero para Navia.
¿Te quieres sacar a Navia? No sé cuándo hará rerun, pero tardará un poquito a lo mejor. ¡Ojo! ¡Compare! ¡Ahí está! Que quieres a Chiori para Navia, claro, claro. Hostia, te estás sacando a Chiori para Navia, no me jodas. Pues...
Hace mucho daño.
Sí, sí. Pero en teoría C1, tío. Porque me vi una guía de estas, porque me gusta ver guía de personaje, aunque no lo vaya a pillar, pero... En teoría, la Chiori C0...
20k.
Necesitas tener como una estructura geo para aprovecharla bien. Porque con una estructura geo se ve que saca como un muñequito extra y aparte hace como tiene un 20% de bono de daño geo más. O sea que con una estructura geo como el pilar de Zolli o la pantallita esta que hace la pava esta que no sé cómo se llama, de la cámara de Jade y tal, pues se ve que con eso, o el torito de Ito también funciona, con eso pues haces más daño y sacas un muñequito más, todo el rollo. Tarjeta de crédito, porque la Navia en teoría no hace estructura geo, entonces no vas a aprovecharla bien a la Chiori. Por eso, con C1 sí, porque con la Chiori C1 no necesita una estructura geo. Entonces hace equipo perfecto con Navia, pero... Está jodido. Tarjeta, tarjetón, tarjetón.
Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off.
Y la idea, tío, Kazuha, luego Arlequino, luego Furina, tío, pero demasiadas protos.
If you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Pero compadre, ¿qué te ha pasado? ¿Qué te ha pasado? ¿Qué te ha pasado? Te han cambiado el diseño, tío, no puede ser. ¿Qué te pasó, primo? Ahora eres azul. Antes eras ahí con tu túnica roja. Estaba todo guapo, esa capita que te salía del sombrero por atrás. No manches, ahora estás como más buenazo, ¿no? Ahora es un poco más simplote también. Antes molaba más, también te digo. Tú antes molabas. Pero bueno.
Who's that guy?
Está chido.
You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself... I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
Joder.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsettias. And I promised the lady down the street...
Leave it to me. I'll find...
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got... You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later.
¿Qué cojones?
First,
O sea, ahora se dedica a caminar por ahí y a pedir trabajo sin cobrar. Eso es lo que me estás contando, o sea... Eso es lo que hace ahora con su vida. Le dice, oye, va a una frutería, quiero trabajar aquí de... Pues de la frutería, yo qué sé, de lo que me mandes, pero no me pagues, ¿eh? Es para entretenerme un ratito. No me jodas, tío.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
No me jodas, tío. Misión de sigilo. Ah, no. Está tomado por culo ya. Epa. Menuda luz, chaval. Menudo flash.
Yeah, this'll do.
De chill el tío, de chill.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his son's... Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should watch.
Joder, ver para creer, desde luego. El pavo este en el capítulo anterior, subido en el mecha ese ahí gigantesco como un puto dios, súper chungo, y ahora aquí cogiendo florecitas, trabajando de gratis en una frutería. Increíble.
You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
No.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet?
Huh?
You were right.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to...
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more.
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
Ojo.
That's oddly nice of you.
La verdad.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Okay.
Then let's return to the city.
No me lo esperaba esto, loco. El escaramucha evangelizado nivel Dios, Increíble, tío. Let's go. Ábrete, sésamo. Mierda, muy lento, tío. Se abre muy
Here
lento
you
la
go,
puerta.
boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go
Joder.
wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, but look, it was pouring down and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a short... But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done.
Qué buena people, ¿no?
Thank...
Qué buena people. Ahora sí. ¡Ey! Ahora hay que hablar con la Nahida. Vamos, 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 vamos. Vamos, 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 let's go. Estocada. Hermano, tengo ganas de llegar a Fontaine, te lo juro. Vamos a Francia. Al país del croissant. Croissant.
What's wrong?
Guarrón. Guarrón.
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
Holy shit.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
Le cuentas cómo encontramos al pibe.
You say that you were trekking across Teyvat to train yourself.
¿De entrenamiento?
Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots.
La planta sin raíces.
But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
Ni él se acuerda de nada, tío.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is
Alternativo.
a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case...
Vida anterior.
It seems that...
Oh, like a past life?
Yes. Something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. Oh,
Ni
okay.
puta idea.
You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt, but I'll be able to handle it. Please.
Is truth something...
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that you nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself...
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of cause and effect. A cycle of karma and consequence.
Pedazo de frase, ¿no?
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but... yeah.
If we were enemies, why are you...
This is so
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves.
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my...
Traveler, can I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your,
Understood.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. Nos vamos a la verga. Dime que controla al escaramuch, por favor. Dime que sí. Te lo pido, por favor. Un ratito, aunque sea.
looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
Una experiencia
You
inmersiva.
don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
Joder, qué buena gente de repente, tío.
Never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
Oh, shit.
You could see that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miner? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Es que no le pega esta voz, tío. No le pega esta voz. No me lo esperaba.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here?
Ah, es el escaramuche, está ahí tirado en el suelo, ¿no? Vamos a verlo todo desde fuera.
And these fine clothes.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa.
Oh.
He found the Balladeer in Shake,
and the rest is history. Well,
in the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, as the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Bueno.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
Oh, Dios, me dio. Hijo de puta.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Bueno. Ojo, para entrenar como... Madre, lo he esquivado sin querer porque me gusta hacer el tonto con los palos, tío. ¿Esto qué es?
What are we doing back here?
Bucle. Oigo voces.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty.
I was abandoned, like you.
No me jodas. Pobre niño loco. A mí me abandonaron como a ti. Lo que... Le soltó así como nada.
Okay.
Pobre niño loco.
I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. And then my dad got sick.
F.
He kept coughing
Hostia.
all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
No mames, es el pájaro de la historia, tío. No me jodas. No me jodas, el pajarito, tío.
But you can't. You promised me.
No me jodas.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
No mames.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
No manches. Shit, man.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something!
Re duro.
You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too.
Se le fue la pinza, eh. Se le fue la pinza aquí. No entendió muy bien el concepto de la muerte.
The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
O sea, parece como que esa versión suya le echaba la culpa directamente a la persona por morir, ¿sabes? Como te mueres, me dejaste solo, no me jodas, hijo de puta. No tenía muy bien el concepto del tema correcto. ¿Por qué saltas? ¡Hostia! Me ha pasado por la nariz, loco. Putas trampas. Los dendros. Sí, hombre. Fuck. Uf, saltito. Uf. Venid para acá. Toma huevo. Catabum. Toma. Paga, 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 paga. Pumba. Y tacatá. Y ahora... ¡Hostia! ¡Bomba! Dios. Os reviento, hermano. Me parto la madre. Dios, 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 Dios. Nah. Rebasado. Dale, dale, sombrerito, dale. Sí que dura, loco. Nah, mamadísimo. Mamadísimo. Comiano.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory. In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Es verdad.
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent
¡Ojo!
for me?
La señora.
You shouldn't have.
¿Cuánto tiempo no esperaba que muriera así tan de repente, la verdad? ¿Ves? Es que el diseño ahí de Scaramuch mola más, ¿eh? El traje rojo está más guapo, tío. La verdad que sí.
What do you have to gain from
La señora, tú. La única Fatui muerta en teoría de momento, ¿no? Veo como el diseño está bastante
Perhaps
guapo.
you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible. and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Damn.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely.
La rusa,
Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop by then. See you at the victory feast.
Chao pescado.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come.
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Bueno.
Why are you
No mames.
staring at me in silence?
¿Tú qué? Pringa, te parto la madre, loco.
Nicer way to
Te parto la madre.
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you.
¿Dónde está?
Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right?
Va por culo. No, hijo de puta.
You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse.
Nah, easy, bro. ¿Otro? Nah, no, por culo. Me lo follo.
You're about as much fun to be around
Hostia,
as
hostia,
a
cabrón.
inferno.
Se marcó la
But
chinchuan.
before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Hipermaulti. ¡Calapón! ¿Ya está? Nah, yo aquí con las 3 ultis, con las 4. Reventando, loco. Qué guapo. Nah. Mamadísimo.
Looks like we have arrived in Sumeru.
Oh.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the
Welcome. I look
Dottore.
forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a...
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will...
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further...
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they'd think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere...
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
La cara dura a la vista.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares...
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and...
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human, whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each person as a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for
Madre mía,
something
chaval.
more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours.
Tío, las tramas que tienen que ver con personajes y profundidad y de la psique mental, de su mentalidad y su mierda es... Me peta la cabeza y me flipa, tío. Suele ser de las que más me gustan, macho. Ojo, cinematic.
You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Píllalo, píllalo.
Set him free.
El trauma, se viene.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Madre mía, el trauma que le está entrando en la cabeza, loco. ¡Hostia puta! ¿Otra vez? ¿Otra vez tú? What the fuck? Qué bicho más guapo, tío. Nada, tranquilito. Tranquilito, Oh, shit. Damn. Se puso serio. ¿Pero de dónde ha salido el bicho este, cabrón? Mames.
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
La rayada mental que me lleva el cabrón. Oh shit. Dios. El puto mecha, loco. Let's go. Wow. Se vino el temardo. Let's go. Este es el que yo quiero ver. Oh, Dios, lanzas cuchillas, qué guapérrimo. Mira, 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 mira. Lo toma por culo. Up. Espérate, espérate. No, le vale, si le doy... Espérate, espérate, espérate. Tengo que probar una cosa. Ay, si corres, guarda. Puedes ir volando con un puto avión por ahí, loco. Cabrón. Y si me pongo así y me pongo a pegarle, le pego más fuerte, ¿no? Claro. Wow. Cabrón. Va, no me da, claro. Qué bueno. Ay, cabrón. Y ahora la ulti. Dios, qué guapo. Nada, pepinaco, cabrón. Aún me mata. No me mates. Voy a comer algo. Voy a tener que comer algo, tío. Dios, te mazo. No. Wow. Oh, que puedo subir. De locos. Y luego, pum, ataque. Hostia, está guapo, Fucking escaramuche. Fuck, me dio. Cabrón. Dios, cómo revienta, loco. Ni loco, güey, ni loco. Dios. Me encanta la animación de la ulti, Del patadón.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
Damn.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to...
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way... You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing...
The memory recovery seems to have been a success.
Come on.
Me ha gustado probarlo, tío. Está guapo. La verdad es que es un personaje que mola, Algún día puede caer en el gachapón. Algún día puede caer. Pero de momento está en el puesto 6, 7, 5, por ahí. Aún quedan unos cuantos primero, la verdad. Hombre, viaje ha sido guapo, Menudos tripis, chaval. El dendro a tope. Los dendros.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably... After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the 6th is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes. And I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan.
Qué
But
crack.
before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that.
Y esas cosas de...
Sorry if
de
I have a
guarazo,
slightly
¿no?
different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before? I will try.
Traveler.
Está vivito.
After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals.
Joder.
I'll balance the books one day.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can... I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Which is why there is everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be
Hermano,
human.
este capítulo es literalmente clase de psicología. No me jodas. No me jodas. Capítulo de psicología, ¿eh? Todo aquí... Todo, increíble, tío.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Se me acaba de venir a la mente, tío, la imagen del escaramuch en una sesión de psicología ahí, tumbado en el sofá. Ahí con la mano en el pecho explicándole al psicólogo. Y lógicamente energía de psicóloga, tío. Porque menuda sesión de psicología le está metiendo, ¿no?
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to
What?
follow Nahida.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname
Why?
because Paimon still does.
Then I hope we don't see...
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name...
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
No me jodas.
Have you got anything?
Oh, wow. Podrás cambiar el nombre a Trotamundos. Tras completar el capítulo intermedio, bla, bla, bla. Ciertos nombres no serán válidos. No puedo ponerle carapene. Una vez cambiado alguna interfaz del juego, bla, bla, bla. Te presente que solo se puede cambiar el nombre un número limitado de veces. Declaración. Asegúrate que cumples con el acuerdo de usuario al hacer el cambio de nombre para que un ambiente de juego positivo. Vale. Nada de raza, religión, sexual, etnia, gobierno, religión, bla, bla, bla. Acoso, insultos. Vamos, que hay que ser... No mames. Momento importante, ¿eh? Mente fría, pensemos. Erpillao. Literal. Erpillao. Erpillao.
Are you sure?
Le queda bien. Borra ese trotamundos de ahí. Sí, sí, sí.
Oh.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Erpillao. Le queda bien, ¿eh?
Take your time.
Oh, shit.
I don't need everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer.
No me
will have to pay the
jodas.
price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly.
Pillado. Es que está
One
pillado de
more
la
thing.
cabeza, tío.
There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know.
I see. Huh? But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire.
Damn.
What's that look for? Don't make that face. That day will come. All right. We're done here. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone. What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, so we can finally go eat? Paimon is...
Thank you both.
Joder.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was all these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Me has pillado. Personajazo. Ojo, no se acaba.
Sorry, pal.
Mi habitación.
We had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at that vase.
No mames, el que te cargaste, pendeja.
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But
Bu- Sí, sí, no hace falta el flashback, me acuerdo perfectamente, tío. Oh, no me jodas, fumador, otra vez. Deja para allá, por favor. Me va a explotar la cabeza, tío. Ya.
You sound lost
No
and
mames.
confused.
¿Ahora qué? ¿Ahora qué?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would...
Huh? Is there
The
someone here
fuck?
talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway like a vase that falls to the ground, whether it is broken by a... History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own...
¿Quién cojones es esa, tío?
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming?
Que confíe en lo que veo, se refiere a mis recuerdos.
Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up?
¿No lo puedes coger tú, pendeja? Que encima lo rompiste tú.
It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
¿En serio? ¿Qué me deparará el futuro? Pues está vivito, no lo sabemos. Fumadote. Misión complete. Oh shit, madre mía. Qué puta misión, madre mía. Pedazo de texto que ha habido, pero... rayada, ¿eh? O sea, ha sido una clase de psicología increíble, tío. Buenísima, tío. Ha estado guapo, ¿eh? El tema de Scaramouche... Uf, no veas cómo le han dado vueltas y... Uf, esto para acá, ¿esto qué es? Un pincel capaz de conceder un nuevo nombre a la vez. Ah, what? Oh, shit. Le puedo cambiar el nombre a algún personaje. Uf. No me jodas. No me jodas. Pero tampoco quiero... La verdad es que no tengo ningún personaje para ponerle el nombre, en verdad. De momento todos están bien como están. La verdad. O sea, no hay ninguno... no hay ninguno que le quiera cambiar el nombre, ¿eh? Chulli. Están todos bien, tío. Pues nada. La Chiori, güey. Pues a ver cuando meten aquí... al Arlequino. El Grizzly, tío. ¡Buf! Este pavo también molaría tenerlo. El único personaje que va a puñetazos, tío. A hostia limpia. Junto al Heizu, que mete hostias, pero también mete patadas y tal. Estaría guapo tenerlos. La verdad. La Furina. No estaría mal tampoco. Nebulete. Epiquísimo el cabrón. Tengo ganas de llegar a verlo en la historia, ¿eh? Puf. Literalmente el personaje más chetado del juego. Y luego por aquí, pues... Míralo. Porque se llama Trotamundos. A mí no me jodas, ¿eh? Aquí no lo pone, pero... A ver. Bueno. Tiene pinta de estar chetado, la verdad. En fin. Serafín. Me ha rayado la puta mente este capítulo, gente. Le voy a parar aquí. Y bueno, de hecho voy a empezar otro directo justo ahora. Para grabar otra cosa diferente. Así no se me empaqueta en el mismo directo, ¿sabes? Tú sabes a lo que me refiero, ¿no, güey? Pues venga. Chao, pescado.